Hello, I'm Anthony. Just finished this latest piece of music, and we're going to be having a chat about it today. And I'm going to demonstrate some of the features that I talk about in videos. I'm going to demonstrate them in this piece of music. I say very often in my videos, there's no point doing anything, there's no point learning a thing if you're not going to use it to actually write music. And hopefully today I'll be able to demonstrate that in a real context. This is an acoustic piece that I started about 12 months ago, and I made a video about how to produce an acoustic guitar track. I'll put a link to the original video above just for reference, but here's the original track. I've doubled it up. You can see that there are two guitars here. It's an identical track through which I've sent different processors, and it thickens up the sound. We'll have a look at some of that processing in a moment, but let's just hear a bit of it for now. Let's bring in the trillion bass. This upright bass emulation, I'm in love with at the moment. I'll be releasing the entire piece on the day that this video comes out, so I'll put a link to the entire thing if you want to listen to it. But every time I write a piece of music that's based primarily on the acoustic guitar, I travel in a completely different direction to pretty much any other kind of music that I write. I like a very, very pared down sound. There's no rhythm, there's no drums or other percussion in this piece of music at all. And instead, I like to concentrate on the quality of the sounds, use as few of them as possible to produce the best overall effect that I can. So all we have in this piece of music is one acoustic guitar that's been doubled, the upright bass that you've just heard, then we have a Rhodes piano that comes in a couple of times. Let's have a quick listen to that. The only other instrument or instruments are a viola and cello. These are from the Contact library. I've made another video about how to process articulations in stringed instruments, in bowed instruments. I'll put a link to that somewhere as well. So you can see a bit of a theme developing here. At the moment, I'm cherry picking my absolute favourite sounds, and I'm writing music with those. There have been a few unexpected twists in my personal life recently that have required me to really focus on what it is I need out of music, what's the stuff that makes me the happiest. These sounds, writing music like this, is one of the things that makes me most happy, and so I'm cherry picking my absolute favourite sounds. Here's the viola and cello combination, something that I've settled on over the last couple of years as just something that I utterly adore. At this point in the song, there's an acoustic guitar break, and while I was playing it, it was quite a difficult run for me to play very, very clearly, and I inadvertently held my breath, which causes me to do an audible intake. I decided to leave it in. I see no reason to hide from people that this is a human being playing a guitar, and human beings breathe. I'll mute the mic actually so that you can just hear what's on the track. I've got no problem with that. It's a tiny thing. I almost didn't think it was worth mentioning, but it is. We get obsessed with trying to hide every single fluff, squeak, breath, chair noise. Sometimes it is a little bit egregious and it has to be removed. Sometimes it's an essential part, the character of the sound. So no vocal dip on my breath, it's staying in. Having said that, there are a couple of moments right at the end of the song where I do use volume dips. Can you see these little bits of automation here? These are acoustic guitar squeaks that were just a little bit too loud. That squeak on its own, if we take the automation away, is too much. So you do have to exercise a little bit of discretion. That's a good comparison, I suppose, of something that's got natural kind of character and ambience to it, and something that, no, it's just a little bit too much. You're going to have to control that. So I've taken a little bit of the squeak away, but not all of it, because once again, that's me. I'm a physical person. I have fingers. They squeak when you move on the strings. Did I really just say I'm a physical person? Yes, I am indeed physical and a person. Let's have a quick look at those two guitar tracks. I said that I'd use different processing on each of them to generate a pseudo stereo effect. I think when I made the original video, I should have watched it before I did this, I discussed it from the concept of what was at that time channel, the left-hand channel. That uses a compressor and an EQ that each have their own character. I do remember now in the video talking about these. What I'm essentially doing with this compressor and EQ combo is quite deliberately and artificially pushing the waveform in a particular direction, which is going to enable me to use different processes, a different preamp and a different compressor on the right-hand channel to create the impression of genuinely different performances, whereas actually, as you can see from the wave file, they are identical. Let's have a listen to each of them in turn. The left-hand channel first. I've centered it as well, so we're just listening to a single mono track here. Now let's listen to the right-hand track with those different processes. So we've got a Fairchild and a Trident. Softer. So you can quite clearly hear on the right hand side I've accentuated different aspects of that guitar performance. It almost doesn't matter. Well, it's kind of a bit unfair to say it doesn't matter, but the most important thing is to create the disparity. Get each of them sounding good on their own, then bring them both back together and let's have a listen to the stereo effect. You can also see that that stereo bus is then going through the recently released Arturia plugin. I've done a video about this. This is currently my favourite tape emulation plugin. Really warm, just a very, very gentle overall improvement to the sound. Let's bypass it and listen to that A and B. Very lovely, very lovely. I think I'm going to be a big fan of the J37. Hope you enjoy listening to the finished piece of music. As I say, that'll be released as a separate video. And that'll do us for today. Hope you enjoyed this one. Please hit like if you did. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Helps me out with the YouTube algorithm. I'll see you again. Thanks very much.